Hey, what's up guys? Today is Wednesday, July 1st, and today I'm going to go over the recently released economic data news, the deadline of the PPP possibly extending, as well as an update on the next round of stimulus and whether stimulus checks look like they're coming or not. Before we get too far in today's video, if you can do me a huge favor and just press that like button, it's just that little thumbs up, just give it a little poke. It really helps the YouTube algorithm pick up my video and spread it to other people who this may help. Okay, so let's dive in. So some interesting economic news came out today. At the first of every month, the government estimates how many jobs were added based on ADP payroll data. So in June, private payrolls were estimated to go up about 2.7 million, or excuse me, 2.4 million. And while this sounds large, they were actually expecting 2.5 million, so this is a little bit of a letdown. But what's interesting is they revised May's numbers once they actually had the actual data. They originally thought it was going to be a $2.7 million or 2.7 million job loss. They actually revised it up to a 3 million job gain. And so this is big news when you're considering that they've been waiting to see this economic data come in when considering the next round of stimulus checks. And that's why they keep pushing the dates out, because they wanted May's, June's, and possibly, they want to get a good estimate on July before they make any big decisions. Now with the PPP, I've been pushing all of you to get your applications in because the deadline was June 30th and many companies put June 28th as their cutoff. Well, late last night, the Senate surprised everyone and voted to extend the deadline to apply for the PPP through the first week of August. Now this passed pretty easily, and so I expect it to pass Congress. It hasn't yet, but I do expect this to pass. Now, why this is important is many of you decided not to apply for the PPP because you were receiving the PUA money through the end of July. That expires July 1st. So the nice thing about this is for those of you who have not applied for the PPP due to the PUA, you can apply at the end of July, and receiving the PPP funds won't knock you off of that extra $600 a week. All right, now let's go over the next round of stimulus and what's going on with that. The Senate is leaving for a 2-week recess on July 3rd and will return July 17th. Now what this does is it gives them 2 weeks to think about all of the things they want in the next stimulus bill. It also gives them 2 more weeks of economic data. They can look at they'll have a better idea of what the actual June payroll numbers are, and hopefully the first half of July. It also gets them closer to looking at the PUA number, which I mentioned is going to expire July 31st. A lot of people are depending on that extra 600. However, it does not appear that the Senate is planning on extending that, and so we will see what they do. But what's going to happen is they've now bought themselves time through the first week of August to vote on the next stimulus package. That's when the PPP is going to expire, and so they may vote on what I talked about in the video yesterday, which is another round of PPP for smaller businesses who have been hit really hard and lost at least 50% of their revenue. That's not a for sure thing, but I do expect something like that to pass with the excess PPP funds. But what they're going to do is they're going to wait to get the economic data. They're going to vote on this at the end of July, and then they're going to decide whether the economy is in good enough shape to not do another round of stimulus checks, which I think is what they're leaning towards. But if the economic data continues to fall or not grow as much as they thought it was going to, we are seeing spikes in a lot of states right now. Some states that were planning on opening certain types of businesses decided to halt that. Some states such as Florida and Arizona and now California are closing bars again. So jobs that were gained in the economic data are going to be lost again. So I think we might take a step backwards. Like I've talked about in previous videos, the PPP I think was really behind a lot of the economic data and the jobs added. I don't think this is real data. I think when the PPP money expires for a lot of these businesses, I think they're going to have to furlough people because a lot of businesses are not operating at 100% capacity right now. A lot of them not even 50% capacity. So while I think the Senate really would like to not do another round of $3 or $4 trillion stimulus due to just not wanting to keep printing money, I think they're going to have to in order to keep the economy from collapsing in the time being. All right, well, thanks for watching the video. As I mentioned before, please like and subscribe if you got value out of this video. I will continue to keep you updated on what's going on with the stimulus package, as well as anything in the tax and finance world. Thanks, and have a great day.